Good evening and a very warm welcome to the Grassroots Weekender show, and we have the Kids Voice Box with our young commentators. We've got Ben and we've got Jayden.
Hello.
And they're going to be taking over and give us our topics. No doubt it'll be Premier League talk.
Yeah.
And I think we've got a couple of apologies first, lads.
For Ben, Dan and Oliver. They're not here tonight. Don't know the reason, but they're not here. But he doesn't have an apology. Wait.
Okay.
We're for you. You're on 27. Get in, right? Yeah, 27. Get in here now.
Yeah.
And what's he got to do, Jay?
Get us our celebrities because I'm bored. I'm
Yeah.
joking.
Yes.
We need some celebrities to talk to.
There we go. So, anyway, what we've been up to this week? Well, we were talking last week, Ben, and I got a certain score totally wrong.
Yeah.
2-2, I said.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? I think everyone's going to know. What are we talking about?
Liverpool United, which they do call it derby, but it's not. And I think it was, even if it is called a derby, it clearly wasn't close at all. Well, first half it was, and Gary Neville needs to stop making a joke of himself by saying in interviews that it was like United were the better team in the first half, which they weren't. I don't think they were. It was more even.
Did we score in the first
Yeah.
half?
So it was 1-0 going into half time.
Oh yeah, then we scored six.
And then second half it was 6 goals, and it was 7.
I think it was 6 goals in 41 minutes
Yeah.
or something, wasn't it?
Now,
Can we do that against Real Madrid? Why not?
yeah, I know.
Why not?
I think if they play the exact same, everyone's been saying it, if they play the exact same as how they did against United, who were literally, the week before they were saying that, it was like United were going to destroy them and United were going to go on and win the quadruple, which it's not, because
Who said that?
everyone's been saying it.
Really?
Even though technically they can't win the quadruple because the quadruple is technically the Champions League and it's not the Europa League. You've still won 4 trophies, but it's not the proper quadruple, because the proper one is literally the Champions League as well.
Quadruple.
Yeah. And they need to stop making a joke of themselves, calling the Carabao Cup the Mickey Mouse Cup, even though they celebrated like they won the World Cup when they won it. But I think, yeah.
I love that name.
Yeah, I know. It was just, I think it was shocking, and Lissandro Martinez needs to get himself, needs to actually improve on himself after that game as well, because he was good in the first half, defending, he'd stop more goals. If I'm going in, like, it could have been probably 9-0 without him, but like,
No luck defending.
yeah. I know, he literally, I don't know what as defending was there with Salah's like pass to Gakpo. It was actually brilliant in that game, and I think that's what we've started to see now. Gakpo and Nunez improving themselves recently, and I think going into Bournemouth will be scared going into the game tomorrow, because last time they played them they won 9-0. So
fair point.
yeah, they'll be
I think
scared.
it's Man United 7-0.
Well, who can we do a favour for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Our neighbours.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm wondering now, I'd like to put onto social media and just say now, how many Evertonians would want Liverpool to win tomorrow?
They most definitely would.
Do you think they would?
They would, because it helps them out, but it also helps out Leeds, who would also win their relegation battle. And Leeds have got Brighton tomorrow, and that's going to be tough. But it looks as if, Leeds could actually get a result in that game, because apparently Rodrigo's back and apparently Sinisterra is back. So if them two are back, it puts them in a very good position, like, going into that game. But I think Everton against Brentford are fighting for Europe, and Everton are fighting for literally to survive.
Stay in.
And I could see it could go either way. It's at Goodson, isn't it? Because Liverpool have got are at the vitality. But like, I think it's going to be that'll be a close one, but I can see Brentford winning that. I wouldn't say quite easily, but if you look at Brentford's results this season, where they've beat Liverpool 3-1, they've beat City 2-1, they've beat United 4-0, and it's just been...
They just do good against the big teams, don't they?
I know, and against the little teams they still do get quite big wins, but like, it's still, they even drawn against Leeds, which they need to kind of watch themselves on, because it was a 0-0 draw actually. I think it was, yeah. But I think you could see Brentford easily winning that. But Everton do have some fight in them, and I can see them getting a result in that game.
What about is Brentford? Are they like relegation or are they like mid-table?
I think they've been table now, haven't they?
7th or 8th.
They've done alright, they play some nice football.
Better than Chelsea. Chelsea, every time that they win or draw and
They
actually
just beat
don't
Fulham, didn't
lose.
they? Brentford.
Yeah, yes they did.
Chelsea lost to them 2-1.
Yeah, it's Brentford who were fighting for top 4 with Liverpool. It's not Fulham, because it was like the winner of that game was the one who got extremely close to Liverpool. And that top 4 race is wide open now.
And you just took the words out of me up, but it's not just the top 4, it's the bottom as well.
Everything's
if you look how
to
many
fight
teams
for, yeah.
are down there, it's
Like,
unreal.
I saw it as like 12. I was like, to Everton, it's like they're a mile away. They're only 3 points away, all of them.
Yeah, I know my predictions for who's getting relegated. I can't even remember who I put. It's on my iPad somewhere. I'll have to actually find out. But I think I'd said it was going to be like I didn't say Southampton. It was like Bournemouth. I think I actually predicted Fulham to go back down.
Yeah, I expected that as well. But
yeah, but they've completely changed it around, especially that Solomon. He's done good, but I think Pellegrini as well. He's changed them completely. Bournemouth, yeah. Everton, I put 18th, just because of it was like final days last season that they had to like.
Do you think they'll survive, Everton?
No,
honestly,
because
I do.
For my dad, I don't want them to go down because my dad, if they go down, my dad will flip. Because he's a massive blue.
I know, because I support, well, I am a Liverpool fan, but like, my second team is Leeds. But like, I think with that, my mum's friends, I'm not sure if I actually said it last week, but my mum's friends is a blue. Well, my mum's friends and like husbands, like sides, family, they're all blues. And I've said if Leeds survive and they get relegated and wear my Leeds shirt and go into his house, he'll kick me out. But like, I don't think it'll be quite funny, but I think it'll be weird having them there, but the impact that it'll have, especially with their new stadium, they could lose a ridiculous amount of money, because you do lose money when you get relegated. And I think when I saw last season, it was just like it was going to send them into chaos. And I think with them not signing anyone in January, that could be like they could pay the price for that, especially with teams around them getting players in, improving, such as like even Bournemouth have done it, West Ham done it. And they've started to play well now. Well, I won't really say they played well because they did get beat 4-0 last week by Brighton. But like last night they did win in the Conference League. Well, it's not really hard if you look at the teams in that league, in that Conference League.
Which they've never heard of.
Yeah, I know, especially with whoever they played. I think Champions League's probably been the most. I think. Out of the Champions League, Europa League and Conference League, the unlike most entertaining, third is Conference League, second is Champions League and first is Europa League. Especially with like Arsenal, United, and especially last night, like forgetting about those two, I think the most interesting game that I was looking at was the team who've just become one of the best teams in Germany this season, Union Berlin, were playing, I don't even know the name of the team who they were playing. No, they I can't even remember who they were playing.
Wait, no, I'm thinking they played Monaco.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the wrong game.
But well, they beat Monaco and went through to the round 16. But Leverkusen, they won 2-0 last night, so they're like going well going into the second leg, which I'm actually cheering them on because they're because I've got on FIFA Moussa Diaby, and if they get through he gets another upgrade, but love that if it was a nice card. And then he's also Xabi Alonso is the manager, so that'll be that's an interesting one to watch. But I think with they were, I can't even remember who it was who they were playing. It was like some foreign team we've never actually heard of, but it was 3-3. And like that was just the first leg, and
Union
Berlin. I think it was like Union someone else, like Union and something else after it. But it was the weirdest game I've ever seen. It was like, I think it was 1-1, and then I saw it was 1-1, and then 20 minutes later it was 2-2. And I was just watching it, was like, went 3-2 and then 3-3, and I was like, where's this come from? I was literally checking on Arsenal's score, which they were 2-2, and they've actually getting beat 2-1. I don't know why I cheated them getting an equaliser. I was just having my tea and then I cheated them getting an equaliser.
Man United played last night as well, now the world beat us again.
Yeah. I know, thinking that
I watched the game, and my honest opinion, honestly, they're all raving, the media's raving, that Man United are back, and it was just a little blip, they're all saying. But I thought they improved last night, and if they were playing Liverpool last night, the score would have been 5-1 to Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being funny, that Real Betis were woeful, absolutely terrible, and no one has turned around and said how bad they were, and they really were.
The manager was, I didn't realise their manager's the ex-City manager, Manuel Pellegrini, and their goalie is the ex-City goalie. I don't know why they love buying City players.
Which one?
But it was Claudio Bravo, and he was terrible for City, and then conceded 4 goals. And I think they were terrible. I've watched the highlights. The only actual good goal was Anthony's, and he done it. It was the exact same chance that the exact same chance he had against Liverpool, but he killed
Yeah,
it.
but how many? What's that goalkeeper?
He was never going to save that.
I just thought he was terrible, the goalkeeper, and he didn't emphasise that enough. He was just palm, and he could have got. I don't know, he could have saved them all,
But,
to be honest.
With that game as well, I think I know it was 4-1, but it could have been completely different if Bruno Fernandes would have been sent off, which he probably should have been.
Yeah.
I'd saw the yellow, and when the highlights come out, I would like everyone was talking about this red, where it should have been a red, and I actually looked at it and I was like, that is a clear red if I've ever seen one. He goes in, studs up on the shin, and it's extremely dangerous because you can see.
Especially for the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah.
Was that the goalkeeper?
He was on the goalie.
Yeah.
And I think what I've always found ridiculous was where Sadio Mane was red carded for that one where he went up with his foot to the head. And every single time after that, when someone had done that, they got a yellow, and it's never been a red ever since.
Well, don't get me wrong,
Like,
I've seen like Van
ridiculous.
Dijk, I've seen Fabinho, they've gone over the top as well, and even though I'm a red, I don't like any tackles
Fabinho's
like that.
one against Brighton in the FA Cup, that was a red.
Yeah, totally agree.
That was right down the back of his leg.
He thought he was going himself, didn't he?
Yeah,
You could see by his face.
He looked and was like, yeah, like I'm off. I think he was almost starting to walk off.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't sent off, and I think he was surprised himself. But I think it is ridiculous that he just doesn't get sent off, especially for pushing a referee in that Liverpool game.
Yeah, and the way all these players are going, I think we mentioned it last week, isn't it? You know, it's all petty stuff now. They're doing.
Apparently he's getting banned by the FA, which I know Mark Goldwich. I found that very funny.
I saw his reaction to 7-0.
As soon as it went
so
7-0, I didn't take my iPad to my granddad's.
He was on the floor, he just sat down on the floor and like,
yeah.
I can't say what he said.
He got up from his seat after the 7th goal and then and was just like, no. And then sat back down and was literally crying. And I just found it very funny because they would all go, especially I really want to know Rio Ferdinand's reaction, because he done an interview and was saying, this is the most confident I've been going into a Liverpool United game in the past decade, and then they go and lose 7-0.
And we were in 7-0.
You know what I saw?
Yeah.
if you add the last 5 years of Liverpool Man United games,
It was 36.
it was 30,
38 2 or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
38
Like
two.
last decade or something.
it all on aggregate.
Aggregate.
Aggregate, yeah.
It'll be like 36-2.
Yeah. Like, and that was at Anfield in like past decade, I think. But like, if we count last season's and this season's results, it's been, what was it? Because it was 2-1 earlier in the season. It was like, we had 17-2. Yeah. On aggregate, the two seasons, it was 17-2. So the 36-2, like, with 36-2 and that just at Anfield, like, they counted the Anfield results and they didn't even count what could have happened at Old Trafford, which I think they did win those games. But I think recently United have started to get do well, but I think they were not on it whatsoever. Casemiro, he looked as if he had an injury. Louis Gandon was saying it many times throughout that, and it was just that was just weird about it, because they were all saying he was going to like wipe the floor with the midfield.
Yeah,
But
didn't
then
happen, did he?
an 18-year-old came on and destroyed their whole midfield, and which was I've always highly rated Vicetic ever since he started playing. But
He's so good.
I think he needs to play tomorrow, because he showed that he can actually be strong for big sides. I think the reason why Klopp didn't play him then was because he didn't do well against Real. Even though he done alright, he was not awful.
But he is
he was
17,
at fault.
playing against one of the
He's
biggest
like
clubs
18,
ever.
like 17, 18. And no, there's been a lot of youngsters come in, like Garnacho, who he's amazing. I know he's a United player, and
Yeah, he is good.
two teams of I sport absolutely hate them, especially Leeds. But he's brilliant, and I know with Vicetic as well, and I know with what's his name, Nanto. He's brilliant.
The Leeds one,
the Italian. I was just watched an interview with him before. He's got his provisional licence. He was talking about that because he gets drove into training by his dad, and then he's got his provisional licence and is saying that if he revises for the next 2 to 3 weeks, he'll be able to do his test. And he's
He won't leave the cars and balls are going to be shoulder driven, I'll guarantee, you know,
it's
that's
like
what happened.
Bellingham, I think it's his mum who drives him into training every single day, and he can't actually drive, but she just drives him in, probably because if he was on his own he'd get surrounded by them, because he always does, every time he goes into training. But I think with reports have come out recently that in the past week with Liverpool and their owners, I actually have no clue what's going on, because FSG released a statement and it sounded as if we were like they said they're gonna spend safely, like and not just go out and do a Chelsea and go and spend 300 million in one transfer window, which they need to do. But I kind of like it that way. If we only spend like 200 million in one transfer window, and as long as it's 2 midfielders, and then maybe either in the January or the summer we go and spend big again, and then it's working on defence and like a right back for another like right back or winger, and I think it is. Obviously they need to get Bellingham, but for Dortmund the other day he was terrible. Like I think that's the worst I've ever seen him play. But I think
He needs a team to shine.
He does. He
and that's
does,
what happens,
and it does, that's not happened on the Dortmund. And the reason why they lost that was because their super sub Adeyemi literally wasn't in the squad because he was injured.
Adeyemi.
Yeah.
Love Adeyemi. Not because Daddy Aaron, I just love him.
And he's actually he used to stream FIFA. I think he still plays it now, but he was a streamer before he was playing football.
Talking about streamer,
yeah.
you give us some news before, didn't you? Who are you starting to play for?
Oh, my team. My school team.
School team. So
Yeah.
Jayden's back into grassroots football because you gave it a rest for a while, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, good 8 months of
8
rest,
months, yeah.
and then I'm back into it.
Yeah.
What, as keeper or?
Yeah, keeper.
There you go, so it's a new role.
I used to be a keeper before I met you.
Yeah.
But I started playing striker again. Quite good. Scored 3 goals out of like the 52 I played.
Oh, don't worry about it. You know, there's a lot of Premier League players who don't score goals at all, isn't there?
Yeah,
just
they're
really
playing
bad,
against
yeah.
professionals and I'm playing against like 11 years
Well,
old.
there you go. You've got a long way to go, a long way to learn. Lads, what do you think about today? When we woke up today,
Yeah.
Ooh, sleet snow.
wow.
Which I actually got, I got dressed, I was in my uniform, I got out to the car, and then me granddad rang me mum and said, like, West Derby's closed, and we were like, what? Like, I don't know how we found out, like, he just even never, like, they have Twitter or nothing, so we wouldn't know. And my mum checked, like, the website, and my sister, like, checked all everywhere, and it was, we were actually off. So I went back in, got changed into literally this.
Charlie's
and
went to
then,
sleep.
Never went on my Xbox and been on it all day. I think it threw me control at the ball about 6 times on FIFA. Literally the game annoys me. Especially with, I think I've faced one player about 60 times today. It's getting quite ridiculous. If I see Payet one more time, I'll punch a wall.
I was lucky, you know, because I was meant to go in today.
Yeah, were you?
I was meant to go in, but I was going in. I see the snow. I was happy. That's playing the snow. So I walked to my mates. They start making a snowman. We made a snowman. Then we walked to the bus. The bus has we normally get there about like 20 past, 8:20. So and then the bus comes like past. So we get there. We go at past. Bus master is like, alright, so must be a little bit late. Gets to 40. Stand on the side. Gets to 50. We make a deal. If we get to 10 past, we're going home. So we go to 10 past. We call. I don't have my phone on me, so I get my mate to call me mum. She doesn't answer, but we walk home, and then she said, "You can stay off." So I stayed off, and I got into jammies, and
I've built 5 snowmen.
I slept.
Well, look, lads, we've gone over our time. I must admit, it's been really interesting once again. We've had young Ben, we've had young Jayden. It's been fantastic. It's all about the Premier League. No doubt we'll be back again on the Friday. A lot of games are off this weekend, would you believe it, in grassroots, which is on the grass itself.
In my school, but they were supposed to have DV this weekend. They had it last weekend, but they're having it again this weekend, and it was like literally
You're
called
going year
off.
10, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. And I think they're possibly going to Colomendy in the summer. But don't know then. But then I think they called it off because it was just absolutely freezing the week before, and it was snowing, so they called it off. And I think they're going like summer and doing the other weekend then. And they're supposed to do it in like rough conditions, just show that it's like the hard work that it is, but that's just insane to go and do
I'd
that.
say so.
Yeah.
Wait,
well, anyway,
hold on. Just a quick question. Since I'm in year 9, you're in year 10, what options did you pick?
I picked food, geography. Well, I first picked history, then I swapped to geography, which was actually good. And then Spanish, because I had to do a language.
Oh. Well, I have to do Spanish because that's like a core thing now.
Yeah.
We just have Spanish. I'm thinking about drama, business, or ICT or engineering. Or whatever I pick for my normal one, I'm gonna do the other 2 as reserves.
Never do engineering. It's my dad's job, and I tell him every single time he mentions his job that it's very boring. And I take to do it.
Well, there you go. I picked one option, and that's to close the show tonight because the lads are being all night. And we'll be back again tomorrow with myself, Mal, talking about grassroots football because 3G pitches are on, and we've got a little game tomorrow, so I'll give you some information on how that game went. No doubt you'll see Ben and Jayden next Friday as well. Hopefully Oliver and Dan. They'll be back. let's get all 4 of them in and let's have a really, really great show. And I'm sure Wayne will get these celebrities in very, very sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see you tomorrow. So for myself, Melody,
And Ben.
And Jayden.
we'll see you tomorrow at 7. Have a great evening. Good night, God bless.
Goodbye.